everyone, welcome to Stone's Late Night Kitchen. So yes, this is my new YouTube channel. And this is the place where I get to share my recipes with you guys. And a lot of people ask me, why I am doing this channel. In 2020, like most of my colleagues, I spend my time indoor. And it's during this time I really got to explore the kitchen a little bit. I tested out a lot of recipes, I really learned how to cook. And I think, one way that I can really stay connected with all my friends and my family is by opening this channel and share those recipes with you guys. And I think it's just a really amazing experience, me doing a little cooking and you guys get to see my recipes and maybe try it out yourself. So today, rather than giving you guys an introduction to what this channel is like or what am I going to do, we're going to cook today. And while I cook, I'm going to answer a few questions that I got over the past few days about this channel. And yeah, that will be today's video. Today we're going to have something very simple. In fact, it is one of my favorite late night food to cook. It's going to be a simple risotto with some shrimp. Very, very simple, but at the same time, a very powerful dish when it is midnight or 1 in the morning after you finish all of your work. So yeah, let's not waste the time. Let's head in the kitchen. See you there. Alright, welcome to my kitchen. So risotto is on the menu tonight, and risotto is actually a very simple dish to cook. And you can actually see all the ingredients we need today right on the table here. Rice, Parmesan cheese, chopped onions, butter, chicken stock, and at the end we're going to finish it with some shrimp. Very simple recipe, and without further ado, let's get started. So first, hot pan. Very hot pan, and you're going to add in some beautiful olive oil. And once the oil is hot, add in your finely chopped onions. You just kind of want to stir it around until the onion kind of turns into this golden brown color. Alright, once the onion turns the color that we want, take your rice. Depends on how much you want. Risotto, usually served in restaurants, doesn't have that big of a portion. But sometimes when you're hungry, just adding however much rice you want. And when the rice goes in, you kind of want to stir the rice around the pan and kind of sort of get this like caramelization on the rice just by simply stirring it until you see the color start changing. Very simple. Take your time. Once you get the color of your rice to the color that you want, I personally like to add in a little bit of wine. Red wine, white wine, in my opinion both work. I just like to add it a little bit, just give this some more flavor. Hot pan. Red wine in. You really want to cook off that alcohol before you start adding your chicken stocks. Otherwise, you're going to ruin your dish. Once the alcohol cooks off, we start feeding the chicken stock. Get your chicken stock to a warm temperature, but not too hot, not boiling for sure, and you start feeding it. You want to add enough chicken stock to a point that it's not like the rice are swimming in the stock, but at the same time not too dry. And now you add the chicken stock in and just start stirring your risotto. Never stop stirring, that's very important. In fact, this process will take about 10 to 15 minutes. Just add chicken stock and stir it until we get to that creamy and very nice texture of the risotto that we're looking for. So, since we're going to be in this long process, I guess it's time for me to answer those questions you guys want. Well, let's see what questions we get. Well, it's called Stone's Late Night Kitchen because, well, for those of you who don't know, my middle name is actually Stone. And you know, I always try to use my middle name more, but you know, no one really called me by my middle name. So you know, I just want to give it a try. So it's called Stone's. And the reason I like to call it Late Night Kitchen, because I start realizing, you know, after, you know, a long day of work or, you know, school, sometimes you just need that one meal, you know, very late at night, probably midnight, 1 in the morning. And you know, sure, it's not really healthy to eat that late, but you know, sometimes after a long day of work, you just need a little food. So I think we never really focus on cooking this meal. You know, sometimes it's instant noodles, ramen, and you know, I think maybe having some simple recipes will make this late night meal very fantastic. This is why I want to make this channel. So yeah, there you go. It's called Stone's Late Night Kitchen. Well, there isn't really a place I learned where to cook, but you know, there are tons of information online right now. You know, there's YouTube, there's a lot of cooking websites, and there are cookbooks, and there are just a lot of resources for you to learn. And you know, for the past year during the pandemic, you know, I spent a lot of time going through these materials, and I did a lot of trial and error in my kitchen, and you know, I test out a lot of recipes, and eventually, you know, I start coming up with my own recipes, and yeah, that's about it. That's where I learned how to cook. Just why? Well, you know, I'm no professional chef. I'm not even a cook. I'm just a college student, like, you know, some of you guys. And you know, the only reason I want to do this is because, you know, I think during pandemic, it's very hard to stay connected with friends and family, and maybe, you know, me making some, you know, food and, you know, share these recipes is kind of one way for me to stay connected with you guys. Alright, another interesting question. I don't know what you guys are looking for, but yes, I am single. Very single, actually. Well, obviously, you can find me here on YouTube, but you can also find me on Instagram, search Stone's Late Night Kitchen. I'm going to post almost every day on dishes that I cook, because, you know, before I learned how to cook, probably a year ago, I almost ordered takeout every day, and I just don't think that's very healthy. So, you know, nowadays I cook every day without exception, and you know, I'm gonna post new dishes there every day, and you know, I'm gonna try my best to make videos on those dishes. And yeah, feel free to follow me, and I'll see you on Instagram, and definitely I'll see you here. Alright, so when your rice is just about ready, now we're gonna add in some butter to the risotto. And the reason I'm actually adding this butter in is because, you know, when you add the butter in, you're going to give it some very creamy texture, and just brings the flavor to another level. So butter in, you want to keep stirring the butter until it just melts and combine with your risotto. Alright, at the very end, heat's off, and we're going to add in our Parmesan cheese at the end to finish the dish. Here we go. Cheese in, and you just start stirring, and make sure the cheese combine with your risotto. And that will be the end of the dish. Very simple. And once you get there, give it a little taste. Make sure it's right on spot. That is it. That's beautiful. That's risotto. Well, now we're going to take care of the shrimp. So how I like to cook my shrimp is very simple. It takes no more than 4 to 5 minutes to get your shrimp ready. And here's how we're going to do it. So we're going to start out with 5 shrimp. They're peeled and nicely cleaned. That's what you want. And now we're going to add in just a tiny touch of flour in there. And just sort of mix the flour with the shrimp evenly. And then I'm going to add in one of my favorite things in the kitchen, and it's garlic powder. Just a tiny touch. Nothing much. And the same thing, try to mix them with the shrimp until the shrimp is nicely coated evenly with the flour and the garlic powder. And now again, back to our pan. You want to add in some olive oil. Make sure the pan is hot before you actually put in your shrimp. Once the pan is ready, shrimp in. So how I like to do it is about 2 to 3 minutes on each side of the shrimp, and just get that nice beautiful sear on the outside. And that is it. At the end, we're going to put in some white wine and just saute a little bit and finish it off. And that's it. When it's 2 minutes on each side of the shrimp, now before we finish it off, season it with some salt. And then we're going to add in a little bit of white wine. Just a tiny touch. Quickly, almost like saute the shrimp a little bit. And your shrimp will just be ready in just a second. And there you have it, an amazing and simple shrimp risotto. And yeah, you should try it out yourself. And before I let you go, remember to subscribe and like this video. And also comment below on what should I do for my next videos. And yeah, for now, I'm going to leave you with this. You should try it out. And again, welcome to Stone's Late Night Kitchen.